Well, first, mime, I always said, is one art. We have two different things. It's the more old, particular form of art, and it's the younger as well. Well, it's the more old form of art because the human being in the primitive age, in the prehistory, we start miming for a phenomenon we call mimesis or mimesis. So really, the first thing really was the human being start miming the phenomenon in the nature. They start miming different action, and after that become the ritual or the ritual thing, and after that become the dance, and after the theater. It also really is the more particular all art. It's the origin of any art. And after that is the more younger as well, because the corporeal mind, really, which is the technique and the philosophy, is what made in 1930 to 1991 by Etienne who is a French artist and master of corporeal mime and the modern mime. It's quite interesting because, for example, if you think really, if the people now, when they think in mime, I know they think in this, someone really make a box, this white face, which made popular by Marcel Marceau in the world. And he was always really use a lot his face and as well his body, but the focus was really more in the face. The big difference is for us, for corporeal mime or contemporary mime, the whole expression is start for the spine. So for example, for us, really, this is the big face which you have, is your chest. So for example, if I am sitting down here now in one situation, listen to me, you have one situation where you really start feel the stress and come the angus, and you are really uncertain. If we use, for example, in the ways of pantomime, wanna be probably more in this happen here, and probably by the hand, and put the focus more in this hand and face. For us, for example, could be you are in there, and suddenly something starts happening with you, and it really is your spine. For example, if your spine really become in this particular line, and you head in the other way, and after you can really start feel the pressure, but everything starts for the spine. You can really suffocate as another look something, and this becoming there, but always is the spine, is the chest, is the abdominal, comprehend all the muscle for really put the energy, or sometimes could be the chest, or sometimes could be the head, but it's really articulate in the spine. It's with that the action have origin always. It's not your hand who wanna go. It really is the chest when I pull the shoulder, and the shoulder the elbows, and the elbow go the hand. It's like that. For example, say I want to touch, or I want to go in that way and touch something, and what is that? It's always the impulse come from here. Okay, but now I make a little bit over-articulate for you can see the example, but when you become in the way of the performance, it's more fluent. If, for example, I only want to touch this, I'm gonna touch this, for example, or I'm gonna caress that. What is this? What is that? But always you will see the impulse come from the spine. He was inspired for a boxing in a French boxing, and because he says that he fighting with elegance. No, you are in there, and this was John Carpenter. He was when he fighting. You can see this poor man come from the poor family, growing, become a king in the ring, and when he fighting really with elegance. No, he was saying, what that is important for mine. Any action, anything, even if you punch to someone or you touch someone, have to be with this beauty, with this elegance. So we tried to become the super marionette in the idea. That was one of the points of the crew. But the little probably danger point is, if you only work in your body for have perfect articulation, that is one part of the technique. But after, for me, the string when you talk is your emotional thing, or your thought, or your idea. That's for me the more important thing is, rather than we have a string here moving, have to be your own pure necessity inside, which gonna provoke that, for example. But that is one of the connections, really. We try to be the super marionette, but in the human body. Further technique really become something artificial in you. It's really artificial. But I mean the word artificial, which involves art. But it's not, this technique is unhuman. So you have to cross the unhuman side for become to the human, really, in that case. Because, for example, if you think in hands, for example, this position is not human. This is very rare, for example, when we start really articulate the hand. And after that, when you start articulate, it becomes something quite fluent, for example. Yeah. This thing, which is a possibility of the human body, because it's our body, first go for the technical thing. And after that, when you cross, when you never finish, but when you cross this line between technical, that really becomes your first nature, even not your second nature, your first nature. Because in that case, your body really reacting to or your ideas, or emotions, or meaning what you have. For me, for example, when I perform, every time is different. Sometimes I always focus in ideas, and I have one idea, one particular idea, and I don't involve my emotion. It's only something in the thought. They can really articulate my body for transpose that in the body. Or sometimes it's only one emotion, and I transpose that. But that's true, it's really, if your body starts reacting, it's something is in your vein, in your blood, start fluent, this torrent. And your heartbeat really start changing and moving, your breath is different. And this, for me, is like a horses. Be in the horses, no, the horses is inside, moving, or sometimes it's more down, but it's alive, it's something in there.